Good morning, students. This is class 9th, subject science, chapter number 6, that is tissues. It's your lecture number 2. In today's lecture, the topics to be discussed are simple permanent plant tissue. Under this, we would be discussing epidermis and cork. Also, we would be discussing complex permanent plant tissue, and under this complex tissue we would be studying xylem and phloem. Okay, so these are the several topics which we would be covering in today's lecture. So students, yesterday we studied about permanent tissue. Under this permanent tissue, we studied about simple permanent tissue. What is that? It is made up of similar types of cells which have common origin and function. Now what were the two types of this simple permanent tissue? Protective tissue and supportive tissue. Right? Now we discussed the types of protective tissue yesterday, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, right? So today we will be discussing about supportive tissue. So what is supportive tissue? Supportive tissue are those tissues which are supportive in nature, means they help in providing support. Now the first category under supportive tissue is epidermis. What is epidermis? Whenever you observe any cell, Whenever you observe any cell, the outermost layer of the cell, it is called as epidermis. It is the outermost layer that consists of single layer of cells which are flat with no intercellular space. Means it is the outermost layer, right? Plus it is single layer. It consists of only single layer, and in that single layer the cells, they are flat in nature. The shape is flat, and these cells, they are arranged in such a way that there is no intercellular space. Right? Now this arrangement of the cells, it indicates supportive nature because there is no intercellular space present. So means it is helping in providing support. So are you clear about epidermis? Okay. Now second point is in desert plants. You take any example of desert plant, for example cactus. Cactus is a desert plant, right? So in that cactus, the epidermis, it has a thick waxy coating, right? The epidermis, it secretes a waxy coating. And what is the name of that waxy coating? That is cuticle. That is cuticle. So this waxy coating, it is present in desert plants. Okay, now what is the function of this cuticle? This cuticle, it helps in protection against loss of water. It helps in protection against loss of water. So that's why it acts as a waterproof layer. Okay, so this is acting as a waterproof layer. Now the third point, epidermis of root, they have long root hairs which help in increasing the surface area for the absorption of water. Means the root are present in the plant, right? This root, they have cells, and the cells, they have outermost covering called as epidermis. So this epidermis of the root, it has long root hairs. There are long root hairs which are arising from the root, right? So what is the function of these long hairs? These long hairs, they are helping in increasing the surface area for the absorption of water. Right? So this is the function of root hair. Now the third point is the epidermis. It has small pores on its surface. Means the outermost layer of the cell, which is called as epidermis, it possesses some small pores. Pores mean holes. So it has some pores on its surface. And what are these pores called as? These pores are called as stomata. They are called as stomata. Now these stomata, they are enclosed by two kidney shaped cells which are called as guard cells. Means there is stomata, that is present on the epidermis. This stomata, it is enclosed, means it is covered by two kidney shaped cells. And what are those two kidney shaped cells called? They are called as guard cells. So now students, I am showing you the diagram of a leaf. You can see there are some small pores present on the epidermis of the leaf. I have magnified you some part. You can see these small pores. So what are these small pores called? These small pores, they are called as stomata. Okay, these small pores, they are called as stomata. Now you can see on the left hand side there is a picture of the stomata. I have shown you that in the first case the stomata is open and in the second case the stomata is closed. Okay, now see the first case when the stomata is open. There are two kidney shaped cells. Okay, these kidney shaped cells are present which are enclosing the stomata. So these kidney shaped cells, they are called as guard cells. Okay, so these are guard cells. So this is the diagram of the epidermis of the leaf. So what are the functions of epidermis? Number one, it protects the plant from desiccation and infection. Means desiccation means dryness and infection means mechanical injury or the infection by the parasitic fungi. So the epidermis, that is outermost layer of the cell, it protects the plant from getting dried and it also prevents from mechanical injury. Okay. Second point is about stomata. You know that stomata, they are present on the epidermis. So we have included the functions of stomata under the functions of epidermis. One and the same thing, because the stomata is a part of epidermis. So what are the functions of stomata? I told you before. Stomata allows exchange of gases during the process of photosynthesis. Okay? When the photosynthesis process occurs, the exchange of gases takes place, by which it takes place through stomata. Second function of stomata is that it helps in transpiration. What is transpiration? It is a loss of water in the form of water vapors. Okay, so this stomata, it helps in transpiration and gaseous exchange. So a separate question can be asked, write down the function of stomata. So you can write down easily. Okay. So these are the functions of epidermis. Now next category under supportive tissue is cork. What is cork? You might have seen a plant or a tree, right? The brown part that you can see in a tree, that consists of cork. Now what is cork? It consists of dead cells. It consists of dead cells. Means the cells are dead. They are not living. With thick walls. The walls are thick and they do not have intercellular space. So this was about cork. The cells are dead. The walls are thick and the intercellular space is absent. Now second point is that the cell wall, it deposits a waxy substance. Okay. The cell wall in the cork, it deposits a waxy substance. And what is the name of waxy substance? That is suberin. This is a waxy substance that is present inside the cork. Now what is the function of that suberin? It makes the plant impervious to gases and water. Impervious means impermeable. So it do not allow the occurrence of the gases and the water. Right? So this is the function of suberin, a waxy substance which is secreted by cork. So what are the functions of cork? It protects the plant from infection or mechanical injury, same as I discussed in stomata. Number 2 is it is shock absorber, or it acts as insulator for plants. Okay, so it is acting as insulator for the plants. This is the function, second function of cork. The third function is that it provides toughness to plants. Since cork is rigid, so it is providing hardness or toughness to the plants. And last function of cork is that it is used in making of sports goods like cricket ball, table tennis, wooden paddles. Okay, when you will see a cricket ball or a table tennis, that is actually made up of cork. That is made up of cork. Okay, so these are the functions of cork. So I have covered the supportive tissues, that is epidermis and cork. Now I would be discussing the second part, that is complex permanent tissue. Earlier we were discussing simple permanent tissue in which the cells they were similar. Now what in complex permanent tissue, the cells, the tissue is made up of more than one type of cells. Right? In simple there were single type, and in complex there are more than one type of cells. They have common origin as well as common function. So this is complex permanent tissue. Now you can differentiate easily between simple and complex permanent tissue, right? Okay. Now what are the types of complex permanent tissue? There are two types. Number one, xylem. Number two, phloem. So we will study today about xylem and phloem in. So what is xylem? Xylem is that complex permanent tissue which helps in conduction of water and minerals from roots to the top of the plant. Means the water and minerals, they are transported with the help of xylem. From where to where? From roots to the top of the plant. So it takes place through the xylem. Okay. Now the xylem, it consists of four kinds of cells, or we can say types of xylem. In other words, we can say what are the types. Xylem consists of four kinds of cells, which are xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma. Xylem tracheids and xylem vessels, they are dead and they are tubular structures. Means their structure or the shape is tube-like. You can see from the diagram, the tracheids and vessels, the shape is tube-like. Okay, and plus they are dead. They are not living, they are dead. And they help in conduction of water and minerals from roots to the top of the plants. Means vertically upward. Roots are present below now. So that's why it is upward. So vertically upward conduction of water and minerals takes place through xylem tracheids and xylem vessels of xylem. Now the two are remaining, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Xylem fibers, they are also dead cells. Tracheids were dead, vessels were dead, fibers are also dead cells that help in providing mechanical support to the plant body. Okay. Now the last is xylem parenchyma. This xylem parenchyma, it consists of living cells which help in storage of food. Okay. So out of these four components or the four elements of xylem, which consist of living cell? It is xylem parenchyma, which consists of living cells. And all the other three, they consist of dead cells. This is a very important question which comes in exams also. Okay. So first three are dead and the last one, that is parenchyma, that is living cell. Now coming to next, phloem. Phloem is the complex permanent tissue that transport food from leaves to the other parts of the plant. See students, xylem, it was transporting water and minerals from the roots to the top of the plant. Now phloem is transporting food from leaves to the other parts of the plant. Okay. Now as xylem, it consists of four kinds of cell. Similarly, phloem, it also consists of four kinds of cells. Now what are those four kinds? Sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma. Okay, last two, they are similar to xylem, just we substituted phloem by xylem, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. But in case of phloem, it is phloem fiber and phloem parenchyma. The difference come in the first two. Okay, it is sieve tube, companion cell, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma, the four elements of phloem. Now we will study each one in detail, one by one. Now first is sieve tubes. Tubes As the name indicates, tube-like structure. So the sieve tube, it consists of tube-like structure with perforated walls. Okay, the walls are perforated. Now companion cells, they are thin-walled living cells. Sieve tubes, they were also living cells. Companion cells are also living cells. And phloem fibers. Phloem fibers, they are dead cells that help in providing mechanical support to the plant. See, wherever when the cells are dead, just keep writing that they provide mechanical support. Without thinking, write mechanical support wherever there is dead cells. Okay. And the last is phloem parenchyma. It consists of living cells that stores food. So whenever parenchyma comes, write down storage of food. It is similar in xylem, it is similar in phloem. So now you can see the difference. Sieve tubes, they are living cells. Companion cells are also living cells. Phloem fibers are dead cells and phloem parenchyma is living cell. Means out of these four, which one is dead? It is phloem fibers. They are dead cells. Okay. And in case of xylem, what was the difference? It was xylem parenchyma which was living cell. Otherwise all were dead. So you can write down these 2 points by making star in your notebooks. So you can highlight it because it is a very important point that comes usually in 1 mark. So are you clear about the xylem and phloem? And there are 4 types of each. So today we discuss about the classification of complex permanent tissue, that is xylem and phloem. So we have covered the plant tissue today. I am giving the classification again. Plant tissue, it is divided into 2 categories: meristematic plant tissue and permanent plant tissue. In meristematic, the cells are able to divide. In permanent, the cells, they do not divide. Meristematic, they are divided into 3 categories: apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. You have to learn the functions as well with the diagrams. In permanent, they are divided into simple permanent and complex permanent. Simple, similar types of cells are present. Complex, more than one type of cell is present. Simple is divided into parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. And complex is divided into xylem and phloem. And again, xylem is classified into 4 categories or the 4 elements. Similarly, phloem, it is also classified into 4 elements or 4 categories. So this was about plant tissue. Okay. So what is your homework for today? You will have to do these following questions in your notebook. You can write down the questions. Question number 1 is, what are the constituents of phloem? 2. How many types of elements together make up the xylem tissue? Name them. 3. How are simple tissues different from complex tissues in plants? 4th, write down the functions of stomata. 5th, what is the role of epidermis in plants? 6th, how does the core act as a protective tissue? 7th, you will have to complete the following table. I have given you chart. You will have to write what is A, B and C from this chart. So these are the 7 questions for your homework today. Now I would be discussing the homework solutions of lecture number 1. Your first question was, what is tissue? So definition you have to write. It is a group of cells that are similar in structure and they work together to perform a specific or peculiar function. Question number 2 was, what is the utility of tissues in multicellular organisms? I discussed this topic when I was explaining about tissue. In multicellular organisms, the different types of tissue, they perform different functions. Okay, since a particular group of cells carry out only a particular function, they do it very efficiently. So multicellular organisms, they possess definite division of labor. So what is the utility? They possess definite division of labor. Question number 3 was, name the types of simple tissues. The types of simple tissues are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Fourth was, where is apical meristem found? It is found at the growing tip of root or shoot of the plant. Fifth was, which tissue makes up the husk of coconut? Answer is sclerenchyma tissue. I discussed this point when I was discussing sclerenchyma. Sixth question, differentiate between parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma on the basis of their cell wall. So parenchyma, they have thin cell walls which is made up of cellulose. Students, I did not tell you about the material that is made of cellulose in parenchyma. So you can write down this point when you have written about parenchyma, that the cell wall, they are made up of cellulose. In collenchyma, the corners, they were thick, right? So it is due to the presence of pectin. The chemical or the substance is pectin, which is responsible for the thickening of the corners of the cell walls in case of collenchyma. And in sclerenchyma, the walls were completely thick due to presence of lignin. So in parenchyma, that is cellulose. In collenchyma, it is pectin. In sclerenchyma, it is lignin. So you can write down this answer from here, because you have not written about cellulose and pectin from the previous lecture. I did not discuss you about this there. Seventh was, name the regions in which parenchyma tissue is present. Answer, leaves, fruits and flowers. These are the regions in which parenchyma tissue is present. So I have told you all the answers. Now you can match your answers whatever you have written, and you can correct it if it is wrong. And students, keep one thing in mind, that you have to make notes side by side, plus you will also have to do the learning part, because this is a very lengthy chapter and there are various classifications, various new terms. So keep learning side by side. Please do not forget. Okay? Thank you, class.